Dopamine addiction ruined my life. Okay, maybe it's not that bad, but it's working its way up the list. Ugh, I love LaCroix. Anyways, I'm heavily dopamine addicted, and the chances are you are too. Dopamine addiction is something that has always been an inherent problem in society, but in the age of the doom scroller, it has never been nearly as bad as it is now. It's literally at a point where people are so mindless to it that they don't even realize every single time a genuine thought starts to creep into their brain, they open up Instagram Reels and completely forget that they actually have the functionality of thinking. And we're all guilty of this. Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are guilty of this, myself included. And I know that it's a worsening problem for me because back in 2021, I had been addicted to nicotine, specifically vaping, for 4 years. I had just went through the most brutalizing short relationship and breakup of my entire life, and I decided that, you know what, now is the time to turn things around. I had just gotten into the gym, I was just starting to eat healthy and finally put some meat on my bones, and I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna throw my vape in the trash in my room. I'm not gonna throw it into the big trash outside, I'm not gonna throw it somewhere where I'll never find it again. I'm just gonna throw it into the little trash can in the corner, and I will never touch it again. And then I didn't. I didn't vape again for the next year and a half. But fast forward to 2025, GG's. And this time, for some reason, getting off of nicotine is such a different beast for me. I was actually clean for a few months back in springtime, but then I was at a wedding and decided, you know what, I think I can handle a hit of the chooch. No, that's not how it works. I think the easiest way to tell if you have a dopamine addiction is testing to see how hard it is for you to cut out bad habits that give you dopamine hits. And while I was definitely addicted to dopamine in 2021, it was a lot easier for me to quit bad habits like nicotine than it is now. Nowadays, I'm so afraid of my own thoughts that the second I put down the Zins, or in this case the Ons, after just a few hours, I'm not fully tweaking out or anything, but I'm definitely feeling those cravings a lot stronger than I used to. And honestly, it's pathetic in a lot of ways. Like, I'm 23, I shouldn't have a nicotine addiction. At least it's not vaping this time, it's just Zins, which is unfortunately very common. But minute addictions that don't immediately destroy your health and well-being are a lot harder to kick out when you don't see the immediate benefits, such as nicotine, especially when you're so addicted to the dopamine hits that you're using it as a crutch to get through the day. My life now, despite not being in college anymore, is actually more stressful than it used to be, while also having a lot more free time than I used to since I don't have classes to go to anymore, which indirectly makes things worse because I have more time sitting at my desk doing basically nothing other than filming or editing videos, giving my brain a lot more access to thinking about, hey man, where's that Zin at? You haven't had one in a whole 24 minutes. People that aren't addicted to things like nicotine and don't have generally addictive personalities and don't have dopamine addictions don't understand at all how difficult it is to cut some of these things out when your brain is so rewired to the point where it relies on these things for your mood to not be absolutely in the dumps. And while I've definitely made reductions and made improvements to my life and mental health, you cannot truly improve unless you fully cut out the BS. And so for me, that's my next step to getting my life on a better track. And it almost sounds crazy to say that because I feel like I have so many things that are so on track in my life right now that are going so well for me. But something I've learned over the past few years of my life is the absolute best way to derail everything good you have going for you is allowing your bad habits to take over. And those bad habits, while you think they're managed, are actually slowly destroying your entire livelihood. Can I live the rest of my life doing Zins? Yeah, I absolutely could. But that means for the rest of my life, my brain is permanently going to have a piece of it saying, hey man, where's that nicotine hit? And all that does is take my brain power and thinking away from genuine things that I have to work on and do for the day. So while these bad habits are managed, they still impact my everyday life, and if I don't cut them out eventually, they're just going to keep hindering me further and further. Anyways, enough about my own personal problems. How do we fight off this dopamine addiction? And what worked for me the first time and is working for me this time so far is improving the little things first. When you get up in the morning, make your bed. Look at that bed right there. Pretty freaking clean if you ask me. Instead of letting your bedroom become a pigsty and cleaning it once a week or once every 2 weeks, just keep it clean in general and then you never have to deal with that big wave. When you have a cup of coffee on your desk, bring it back to the kitchen when you're done. Don't leave it there for you to grab 2 days later. Because these little tasks are little dopamine hits. Every time you do something small that seems like it's a mountain to climb in the moment, the better you feel, and it takes essentially no time at all. If you're cutting out bad dopamine, it's easier to replace it with good dopamine than it is to replace it with nothing. So when I do eventually finally fully cut out nicotine pouches, in the morning when I wake up, I'm not going to instantly pop in a nicotine pouch. I'm going to make my bed, go downstairs, make breakfast, have a good beverage with it, and go to the gym. Because that way I'm keeping myself busy with positive dopamine sources. And the more you fill your time and your head with good sources of dopamine, the less time you have thinking about stupid bad habits such as nicotine. But the part that makes this so hard is how easy it is in the beginning. The first day of cutting out nicotine is so easy because you wake up, realize you're quitting nicotine, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. You go about your day, you're feeling good, you get back home, you just had a bunch of positive dopamine sources, and now it's time to relax for the afternoon. Now what? Exactly. Where's your brain gonna run off to the second you run out of tasks to do for positive dopamine sources? It's going to jump right back to those bad dopamine sources. And that's why I don't recommend quitting anything cold turkey. I recommend ramping down until you're at a level where it's easier to fully cut out. And I know this video might sound stupid because I'm literally in the process of being a dopamine addicted loser, but that's exactly why I made this channel. It's not just to talk about my own issues and advise people on maybe things that they can do to improve their life or whatever. It's also things that I can do to improve my life. I'm here to hold myself responsible at the same time. That's what this is all about. It's so I can talk to a camera, build a bit of an audience, which I actually already have over 1,000 subscribers on here, by the way. So thank you guys so much. And I'm looking to document my own progress throughout my own life while hoping to inspire at least one person on this planet. Because at the end of the day, if I inspire one person to help improve their own life, I did my job properly. With all that said though, that's all I got for you guys today. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.